Each new product is 110% this and that, as if numbers are just another adjective unmoored from evidence. Doesn't it enrage you?
Come now. You can't really expect truth in advertising.
It's not the mistruths. It's the cavalier liberties taken with basic mathematics. How can every product be 110% better? What does that even mean?
Have you tried the new Borstwurst, Marisol? I'd say it's at least 110%, maybe 120% better than whatever passed for meat paste in the last formulation.
I suppose I could spare 0.004% of my daily cycle to say hello.
Try not to deviate from the norm.
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I oughta step away? Got a lot on my mind, but I can make time.
Heard that rift near the... Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable... allies. Members of Auntie's Choice are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
Huh. If only one of us could have foreseen this situation. But I'll stay back, Commander. Ain't no reason to cause a scene.
You should heed the wisdom of your... friend. Is this some kind of test? No participants or observants are permitted to discuss Laplace's garden outside its boundaries. You'll discover all you need once inside, after ridding yourself of your problematic auxiliary, of course. Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not delaying you. Very well, head on in. But behave yourselves. The garden is something of a fragile ecosystem.
Impressed as I am that worked. I ain't sure about this. Being vastly outnumbered by the enemy ain't a corner I like to be backed into.
Don't cause any trouble.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. Belvedere Hall used to serve primarily as the garden's hub for all manner of research, instruction, and study. A beacon on the hill of progress. Since the Order's forced dispossession of Spyreton and the Archive, many spaces within the hall have been repurposed to serve as a temporary headquarters. Which is to say, please excuse our mess. We're still remodeling. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? I'm quite sure I don't know what refugees you're referring to. I fear our conversation has drifted from its central thesis. Continuing along this current trajectory seems unwise. Can I help answer any other queries for you? The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. May all your problems precede solutions.
Feels real nice in here. Wouldn't mind us dragging our feet so we can enjoy the warmth a little longer.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Let's start with one and see how it takes. Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional?
Yeah, sure. You're perfectly you.
Personal it is. Your substantial ego provides the confidence needed to achieve in ways large and small. It most certainly will not prevent you from forming healthy relationships in the future. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I see. And what lucky department have you been apportioned to? Surely it must be one of the big three. I'm sure. Once on a lab tray, even the most addled mind yields knowledge.
You know, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Appreciate that. I spent decades undercover with only self-affirmations to assuage my vacillating morale. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps?
Hello. Welcome to CAF Integration Point. I'm Junior Caffeine Celebrant Runge, and I'll be happy to assist you today. Is this another census? Were my previous answers not sufficient? The bi-weekly census about residency satisfaction. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? I could spend all day expositing on the benefits of the garden, but I think you'll experience much of it yourself. If you're permitted to stay, of course. Oh, she's a real top-of-class type. Smart, but also patient. I struggle sometimes with my advanced courses, but Persephone's been tutoring me after work hours. Everyone is entitled to their own hypotheses. Anyway, I'd hate to waste any more of your free study period with my idle thoughts. Anything else I can help with? Apologies. As a junior celebrant, I'm only permitted to distribute caffeine at this time. But my colleague, Persephone, Miss Doyle, will be able to assist with convictions when she's back on shift. Certainly. Here you are. Please imbibe responsibly.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Dear me. I hope you weren't expecting some illicit tryst. You wicked thing. On the contrary, I need your help proving a certain theory of mine. I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Took you long enough to ask. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. Well, I'm not asking you to do something an honest person would. Think of this as a business transaction, if that eases your mind. No, this is about control. Everything is. Most see this as a war of survival. But what everyone's really fighting for is control over the narrative. To be declared victor and have their vision for Arcadia deemed superior. It follows that a drug capable of suppressing discontent could also be used to suppress greater forms of resistance. That's all. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
Yes, Commander. May all our travails add to...
What a lamentable state of affairs. I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand its light. We shall see. And purloin from you such a perfect opportunity to serve the plan? I wouldn't dare cogitate on it. Besides, I don't know the first thing about such repairs. Why, I'd be more apt to electrocute myself than anything else. Through the plan, yes. Yes, I dare say you're right. This must be the true intention behind our meeting. Stand back now and observe the proficiency of a true disciple of the plan.
Mind your truth table P's and Q's now.
A second makeup exam will not be offered, so I hope you studied this time, Briar. You may begin now.
Right. No pressure. Shh! If I'm caught talking during this makeup exam, oh, what does it matter? Can't mark the occipital from the parietal with these voided questions. And is there something wrong with the air recyclers? It's getting hard to breathe. You're mistaken. Panic isn't on the Garden's list of approved cognitive states. I knew I should have hydrated better this morning. Can't believe my future in the Order will be decided by an understanding of the vaporescent properties of trinitrotoluenes. I don't even like bitrotoluenes. Are you lost? It was my understanding low percentiles weren't admitted into the Garden. You should go, before we both get in trouble. Are you waiting for written accolades? I'm sure I'd recover my wits enough to tackle the rest of the test if you can just help me make sense of the first question. Just be discreet, won't you?
There's little you could tell me I couldn't also tell you.
Hmm?
Initiate Briar. do you mean to defraud the Order of its time and resources? I can think of no other rationale for such unseemly conduct.
No, of course not. I'd never...
Cease talking, now, before I expel you from this class entirely.
Thanks for nothing.
Hey, if that student takes a swing at you later, don't come crying to me.
Hopefully that doesn't lead to her quitting the Order, becoming ruler of the Scrappers, and later seeking you out for revenge. Happened to me once.
I can tell we have little crossover of interest.
Please, just leave me alone. Is that what it means by categorizing by propellant attributes? By the architect, that question could have been phrased more clearly. Plan favor your endeavors. You don't know how much you've helped me. The rest of this exam will be rocket science, metaphorically speaking. Stashed a few, learning tools on the balcony of Cap Integration Point where I like to study. They're all yours. Just hop the short wall near the serving area. And thanks.
On one hand, kind of you to assist. On the other, ain't sure I want someone tinkering with explosives if they can't work it out on their own.
When that student later fails in the field due to your misplaced intercession, hopefully they live to learn from it.
Not in the mood for a random interaction, thank you.
Appreciate the help. Now shoo, before we get caught.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how pleased are you with the garden in its current state? Please, try to capture your exact satisfaction to the nearest 10th integer.
100? Certainly. That's the right answer, isn't it? I can show my math if you need. I'd really love to stay.
Determining the remainder of your stay in Laplace's garden is not the purpose of this survey, but your unprompted insecurity has been noted. Lovely day for differential geometry.
No lectures, please.
Smart researchers patronize the scientician's surplus. Quality goods at algorithmically determined prices.
Next, the latest field validating or repudiating our forecasts, and relevant informational details for the present and future calculations. Warmest courtesies.
Welcome to the Scientician Surplus. I am the scientician in question. Any inquiries about the stock may be directed to me.
Adversaries is intellectually lazy. They are a subjugated population, incurious.
Either you intend to buy or you intend to go without. It would be unethical for me to interfere with your decision-making process.
Lest you forget why we parted.
It's there in the name. Surplus. Of course you would.
Emerge more intellectually docile than when they entered. Perfect protectorate subjects. Such deplorable practices have spurred some to action. A protectorate support group on Free Market Station seeks to rehabilitate the mentally refreshed. The station is hosting a group to help ex-protectorate subjects think.
Every day treating the same strains and abrasions. My tenure for a multifactorial disorder. The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer, just to be clear. Not as concerning as some of the scenes I have been called to in the middle of the night. I assure you, the warning is justified. But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices. Obviously. Do you think we drink unfiltered snow melt? I'm quite sure I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. Are you feeling all right? Paranoia can be an early symptom of several more serious diseases. Apologies. I have so little that meets the threshold of my expertise. But I should not be projecting my wish for a challenge onto a patient. Let's forget this conversation. Is there anything else I can assist you with? That is best answered through observation. Here, have a look.
strange to see all this vacant space after the overcrowding at Matriarch's Mercy. Plenty of room for refugees here. If only the Order administrants got their act together.
Hello. Farewell. Thank you for this sufficiently compact conversation.
How did your hypothesis about the flowers fare?
Exposing them to melodic sound waves on a consistent basis did affect improvements on their overall growth.
And you controlled for the amount of carbon dioxide expelled from your mouth during these musical sequences?
More testing may be required.
Please don't take me on a co-tangent.
There's little you could tell me I couldn't also tell you.
You appear to present a low probability of risk. Please don't invalidate my calculation. The plan is always in motion, so move along.
Lift access is currently restricted. Keep moving.
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. At this time, residents of Laplace's Garden are not permitted beyond this point.
Test your hypothesis elsewhere. No legitimate keycard. No entry.
Hostile in proximity.
That's one way to become the center of attention. I highly recommend you vacate my immediate vicinity.
Did you know around 1,000 species of bacteria live on human skin? A fascinating, if not relevant, bit of trivia. Wouldn't you agree? I did indeed, but always nice to make the acquaintance of a fellow Philomath. At any rate, I am quite conscious, merely waiting. Only whilst simultaneously attempting to repel waves of near paralyzing trepidation, as one does. I thank you for the acknowledgement. Yes, much of the colony's future does indeed rely on me and my predictions. It's the whole reason I've planted myself on this spot. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. Unclear. I'm inclined to think this conversation may contain some portentous value, but I'll need to run a few more calculations to be sure. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand? But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. All confidential, I'm afraid. Many are still under peer review, but I can assure you, their value is commensurate with, why, the discovery of gravity, or has the potential to be. Oh no, I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. How do you know about that? I mean, That is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. Oh, my chest. I am either having another episode, or the hands on my mortal clock have ticked their last. Must breathe, old boy. In, out. There. Better. Now then, how in the Architect's Solution column did you acquire that? As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst.
Let me get this straight. You're here experimenting on folk freely, all the while calling us at Auntie's Choice barbarians for doing the same damn thing?
I beg your pardon, young miss, but it's hardly the same. This study was completely voluntary. The participants all gave their consent.
Yeah, I bet they did. Did you withhold research funding unless they signed up? Or did you feed them a story, like their participation is critical to some new advancements?
This experiment has the potential to improve Arcadian society 100-fold. Imagine the benefits of a self-sustaining city where all are content and serving the plan.
That's all I'm saying. Don't cry foul when you've got your own schemes going on.
Then that is a failure on the part of yours and your colleagues' understanding. At any rate, I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense.